Okay.
You all set?
Yep.
I will call this Town of Vinalhaven Board of Selectmen's meeting to order for Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. And first of all, I'd like to welcome Peyton. Warren, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
It's good to have you. Hope that you enjoy your new job.
For the next 3 years.
And then I'll move on to one roll call. Tom Anthony, Ladd Olson, Peyton Warren, Leslie Dyer, myself, Elizabeth Bunker, and Marjorie Stratton. Number 2, appoint Select Board Chair and Vice Chair. Do I have motions?
I would set a motion to nominate Pam Alley for chair.
Second.
All in favor? And Vice Chair?
Can I make a comment?
Yes, certainly.
The only thing that I thought of is the fact that in April, the both of you were gone at the same time. And if we had had to have a meeting and nobody could Zoom in, it would,
Marjorie would run the meeting.
okay, that was my question.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, Marjorie would run the meeting. So, I'll make the motion to appoint Ladd Olson for Vice Chair.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. You can vote for yourself, Ladd. All opposed?
I didn't want
Okay, thank you. And thank you for that. I appreciate your support. Number 3, approve agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Number 4, approve the minutes from the June 3rd meeting, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
And Peyton, since you were not here, you don't abstain.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a second, right? All in favor? 401. Okay. Number 5, approve and sign treasurer's warrants number 51.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Now you can vote for me.
Number 6, communications.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Number 7, speakers from the floor. Seeing none, seeing none, nobody. Move on to number 8, committee and departmental reports and appointments. 8A, downtown project. Gabe is not here. Nothing really to
didn't hear from
report,
her.
is there?
Just the week.
The bid was supposed to happen Wednesday, but they decided to extend it again for
Right.
for the drainage and the road work and sidewalks. So it's extended until,
What,
26?
26 at 2 o'clock.
what is the reason for the extension? Just not getting bids or?
we've only had really one company that's interested, and it's somebody that we would like to work with, and he requested more time to get information or get prices from local subs. Like frequently, the contractor will come from off Vinalhaven, but they'll use local people like, concrete people or excavation people. And he said he was having not a difficult time, but he hadn't heard back from some of the people that he had contacted to get some prices.
A little busy out here this time of year.
Yeah,
There are.
yeah. So that was the request that we had. Do you remember anything else from that conversation?
Well, I thought there might be a second one
Okay,
that would bid on, not all 3,
Oh.
but on
right,
stormwater, was it, or?
right. So there's more than one bidder,
Right.
but for instance, one bidder only wants to bid on the drainage project.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to like piecemeal it? and bid on
Well,
one
we,
thing?
we put it out
Kind
to
of.
bid separately.
Okay,
It's three
yes, I
separate.
remember you saying that.
Yeah,
I was gonna see if Gabe,
but I don't think there was any, I mean, that was about it for the discussion,
Holding pattern.
not much. And then the water district building had to be
Right,
put ahead because of the person that bid on it. We went back to them and said, could you revise your bid, because it was like they were building a mansion. So they agreed to look at it. I guess that's suffice to say.
I didn't realize the bids were open
yeah.
That we
for
opened,
that one.
they opened,
they only
Last
opened the,
water
water
district.
district building.
Yeah.
And again, it, you know, it was what, three
Over-
times the amount of
Yeah,
money?
it was over a million.
Holy moly, well, good, I'm glad he's willing to revisit it.
I think they bid high so they could come down. That's my personal opinion, but probably, who
Could be.
knows? So anyway, I guess, is that it on that, Marjorie? That I can
I
think
just,
of?
I was texting Gabe to see if she was coming to the meeting. But anyway, I don't see her on, so.
Okay, so we'll move on to 9, old business. A, transfer station pricing bags, I'm sorry. Milsu,
Milsu. So everybody received, price
Yes.
comparison stuff. Thought it was pretty interesting, some of it.
yeah,
You know, there are areas that kind of really caught my eye. Scrap metal, stuff like that. The pricing was different on a lot of it than it was with us. Many are much higher, some are, you know, $5 and $10 higher. The other thing, demolition, a lot of other places, or a few other places, according to this, break things down, much more than we break things down, for cost of demolition and debris. So I took everything together, came out with an average, and then I believe, I did not, I've got another one with suggested prices, but I think that would also have to go with wrapped around the discussion of if we buy bags and go from stickers to bags. Some of the benefits of the bags are it's easier to keep an eye on them. If everybody's using the color-coded bags for Vinalhaven, it's easy to spot, obviously, if somebody's not using one. There is, normally, you do see a, like a 30% change in our case, because we already have stickers, so some people are already, you know, doing pay as you go. They call it pay as you throw, but, the stickers aren't so visible, obviously. You can throw things pretty quickly and tell them you've got 6 bags when you've got 8 and so on. Also with the pay as you throw bags, you're gonna fill them up more, you're gonna be more diligent, hopefully, with, you know, recycling and such, so. There's a lot of information with them. The bags will cost under 50 cents a piece, and you buy them in cases of, I think it was 100, cases of 100, which is about 3 or 4 pallets full. And then you turn and sell them for $2 a bag, or by the box.
did you say bundles of 100?
Cases.
Cases.
Boxes. So you buy a minimum order of 100 cases, and it's, like I said, it's 2 to 3 pallets, which I don't think would be a huge issue to store.
And where would you propose to put them?
Well, we could put some up at the garage, and we could put some at the transfer station. I think there's,
Definitely, that would be the place to go.
and you can-
Minimum, I'm sorry,
Go ahead, Marjorie.
minimum 100?
100
cases?
Yeah. And I showed you the bags, they're pretty decent, they're not chintzy.
Right. Les?
So if you have an account up there, can you put the bags on your account?
You buy the bags on your account instead of just throwing and
Telling them how many you
telling them
have.
how many. Which I have an account too, so it'd be different for me as well, but
Okay,
I mean, I think that a lot gets through that shouldn't be getting through. Oh, thank you. So, I think it's just it's a thought, you know, definitely we need to look at the prices as compared to what other islands and places are doing.
also because the cost to transport went up. So reviewing the prices makes sense. Went up in the last contract.
So this would be $2 where a contractor bag size now is $2, right?
Yeah, contractor bags sometimes weigh 100 pounds or better, we're getting ripped off there, you know, because we pay by weight,
Right.
so yeah.
But they come in,
Is that a kitchen? I'm sorry.
That's a kitchen bag, yeah.
yeah, they come in,
There's a, what is it, the small, what is it, 10 and 15?
you have
gallon,
15
something like
gallon
that.
and 30 gallon,
Yeah,
or 33 gallon.
yeah, there's 33s, there's a small kitchen, which I think is like 15 or somewhere in there.
Yeah.
13, 15,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, and then the mid-size, I think that's the mid-size. I don't remember.
And where would we would sell them here?
You can sell them at the town office, at the, transfer station. We can ask to set them up in the store, they can buy them off us and then just sell them. You know, you can put them anywhere that they'll allow around town.
Marjorie?
Have you calculated the initial outlay? 100, somebody calculate that, 100
How many bags in a
bags
case?
times 50 cents each?
No, they're under 50,
Said
under 50,
Said 100 cases, right?
100 cases.
49 cents?
Which I don't, yeah, probably, $49.99.
So you don't really, we don't have the cost?
No, because I haven't gone that far because, until I know
Right.
what we're doing. I figured, you know, I'd wait and see which way you guys were leaning. It would take me 10 minutes to get the price for a case. I have her on speed dial.
So you have plenty of room to store some up there, and then the,
We've got the mezzanine up top.
Who's gonna administer this?
It's not really, it's no different than stickers, really.
Somebody has to load, I mean, yeah.
Marjorie?
Now I forgot what I was gonna ask her. Well, in terms of the storage, I'm kind of concerned about storing any kind of quantity at the transfer station, because there's no security there. I mean, I can't think of a place there
Cannons.
unless they,
Put them in one
put
of
them
the
in one of
containers.
those, what do you call those containers,
Containers,
where we
the
keep the
Connex
hazardous
boxes.
waste?
In with the old televisions and whatnot.
And we don't really have a lot of room here.
Right.
I mean, we're challenged for space as it is. I'm just being honest about it, and the price. So, yeah, I'm interested in the initial outlay. What is that gonna be?
Lad?
I'm wondering, like most bang for our buck, are we losing more on the garbage bags? Are we losing more on, like, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I've always thought like one of the big losers up there is you pay for asphalt shingles by volume, and then we sell it then we get charged by weight. You know, this is fairly big, I know it's not too different than stickers, but it will be at first.
Right.
Where, like, would we be better off just to see what would happen if we charge different for asphalt shingles and got a set of cheap scales just to try?
I was gonna say, I don't think scales are cheap, unfortunately.
That's why we didn't put them in.
Right, Waltz scales are about the only ones that deal with truck type scales, and it's not cheap at all. I mean, although I agree, because I think bringing trucks in and weighing them and dumping that way is the way to go if you can, but I think the cost versus the savings is probably gonna be pretty wide margin, would be my guess. I think that what we could do there, which I did with the price comparison, depends on what demolition is. So if it is asphalt shingles, we charge more,
That's what,
you know,
we
versus,
start with that.
you know, charge more for that, charge more for wood, charge less for insulation, but it's just a matter of the transfer station person now.
Well, don't we know that demolition is what's costing us more money than solid waste, for example?
And one reason is it's open.
Right,
It's not an enclosed container, so it gets waterlogged before it goes.
Right.
I mean, we're paying for rain.
so I have a question also about furniture.
Is that what I wrote? You know, I was getting pretty cross-eyed there.
I'm teasing, it's a typo, but,
It might be. It might not be.
It could have been me too when I brought it over. It was like me just asking about amended, so I hear you. For mattresses and box springs, how much does it cost us to dispose of them? They only charge $5. I see North Haven, for example, charges $20 and $30.
Right,
So what are we doing wrong here?
we're not charging them.
Well, clearly, but do you know what it costs to
I
take
don't, I
them?
mean.
Are they
to me-
separate?
To me, they're
It
a
costs at
space.
least, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. To me, they're a space, they take up space, and the mattresses certainly soak up water. And I think on my suggested price, that is not on here, I had those individually at kind of, as does North Haven and one of the others.
Did you have them at the same price as North Haven?
I would put them up there, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so do the mattresses get shipped separately, like stacked up, and then, or do they go into that
They go in
demo? Really? Ooh, so that's, I mean, we can talk about these individual things before we decide anything about solid waste, so let's move on to, let's move to batteries and do it this way, and discuss each line item so that we have
that's
some
the best
idea.
way.
Okay. So batteries, car batteries are only $2. Is that,
That's pretty much average of what most are doing,
okay,
They get sent back for recycling anyway, don't they?
yeah.
okay, and so they
I assume that there's no charge to us, because the state mandates that all lead acid batteries get
That's right.
recycled anyway.
yeah, you have to pay for that when you
Yeah,
buy a new battery, right? So that can stay the same, right?
Yep,
Okay. And the household batteries just get
they
recycled?
just go in the bucket, they're free.
Yeah, okay, so bless you. So I'm gonna assume we should assume that batteries will just leave as is.
Yep.
Okay, so on to cars and tires. Junk cars, I think that's a reasonable, I mean, people have a hard time
Yeah, most transfer stations do not take them, but we're in an obvious different
In a different-
situation.
yeah.
$2?
I'm
Not
trying really
batteries,
hard
car
to not
batteries.
put any cars there and to get rid of them from down at the, like any junk
It's
cars
probably not
that
on here, cause
we
we weren't
have
doing,
anything to do with, and we'll take them down there because he'll crush them, what's his name there?
Tim McElroy.
Yeah, he'll crush them and take them
Right.
Did.
for nothing.
Madge, you have a question?
I'm pretty sure that we increased the junk cars to $200.
We did?
I bet it's in Darlene's Rolodex. Let me go take it.
I was gonna say, it's not on the list, but.
No, it wasn't on the flyer because for a while they weren't taking them at all.
Right.
So it wasn't
I know.
on
So it
the
wasn't a
agenda.
change needed?
I think the thing, it's okay,
Yes,
I think that what I should do is, compare what what you've got for fees, compare that to what we're being charged by
Right.
waste management and by our hazardous waste people, the EPI and the Northeast that takes all of our electronics. I mean, because they price it out so much per item. So I think the thing that I'm missing here is, okay, I see what you mean, that you're comparing the fees to what other islands charge, and that's great. But I think the other piece of this is, well, how much are we paying? Well, I know, for instance, that the mattresses are no longer just added to the tipping fee as weight. Mattresses are pulled out and they're charged by size, $15 to $20 per mattress.
well, that was my question.
So, I think that's the piece that I need to fill in. For instance, with the batteries, I need to look at the EPI bill and see, and I apologize, I should have done that. I just, now that we're talking about it, I think it's something that, it's a piece that I need to completely analyze what we should be charging.
Okay, so why don't you try to get that list for us for the next meeting?
Yeah.
If you can, and then we can, there's no sense to discuss it if you.
Well, and then I guess what I'd also like to do is just, maybe Millie, I know you don't have a lot of time with the
I
paving
do in the
project.
afternoon.
We can just sit down and propose a fee based on what we're spending and based on what other islands are charging, and say, okay, this is what we should be, and then, go through it that way.
Okay, so we'd
How about
still
that?
have this, we'd still have the list of what it is now, and then you'd have the proposal on the, okay,
Yeah,
that sounds good. Did
works
somebody have
for
a
me.
question?
I was just gonna say, why don't we table this to the next meeting
Yeah.
that you beat me to it, so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, we'll do that then, thanks, Marjorie. Okay, all set, Millie, anything else?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Paving's going good.
Paving's going very good.
I haven't even been up that way, so.
I think that you'll find that the ride on this is much smoother than
Speed
the
run,
first part, huh?
ready for speed run?
Oh, yeah, I've already been on. No, I haven't.
Where have you ended?
We are just past the pour farm. We had a rain out last week, and then the plant broke down, so we're behind 3 days. So we are just past the pour farm and rolling tomorrow. We're adding an extra truck. Nate Standby's gonna drive for us tomorrow, take his wheeler over, his triaxle over and get a load. And then Jake just bought a truck, so that's gonna start Monday, so we'll go from 6 to 8 trucks, and that extra 40 ton will be very helpful.
Good,
Yeah, I went to the jump yesterday, it looks great.
Thank you.
okay, good, thanks for the update.
Sure.
All right, we'll move on to 10, new business. 10A, review remote participation policy. And this is for Peyton, we expect that you're gonna be gone considerable amount of time? or-
I mean, for my 2 semesters, I'll be gone for 8 months.
And so you'll be gone every Tuesday? You don't,
Every other.
I mean, you would have,
Yeah, hopefully my plan would be every semester, if I go over 5 attendances, I lose like 15% of my grade. So I was hoping I could come down for at least one of the meetings and then be online for the other.
Per month.
Yeah, per month.
yeah, that's what I was wondering, if you had, what your classes, your
Yeah.
schedule was and whatnot. Marjorie?
What I'm proposing in this policy under, do you all have it in front of you?
Yes,
Under number, so it says when remote participation is authorized, that's under number 1A. Members of the body may participate via remote methods in the following circumstances: when a medical condition of a member or family makes attendance impractical, when traveling, when unexpectedly outside the municipality. My proposal is to add a number 4, while participating in approved educational programs.
That works.
Yeah, I was wondering how we would word that, so that's good. Would you repeat that,
again?
please?
While participating in approved educational programs. I think it's broad enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. I was wondering how we were gonna word
Good
this.
wording.
Does that work?
Yeah, it works.
I mean, we'd certainly like you to have you here in person. I can't speak for everybody, but if you can't be,
Yeah, no, it'd be nice if, but even one a month would be good, we
Yes.
can do that.
It just depends on how fast I can get a car when I get it back up there. Cause the bus, if I wanted to take a bus, I would have to get up at like before 7 and get to Bangor, and then I would miss 2 days of classes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So you're gonna get a car, that's cool.
yeah.
That'll be helpful for you.
And then you have to take into consideration, you have breaks. I don't know if, Columbus Day weekend you still have Tuesday off. You used to have Tuesday off, but you'd still have to go back Wednesday morning, so.
Yeah.
But like Thanksgiving week, we have a meeting on Tuesday, or Christmas break, spring break,
Yep.
you know.
The UMain's not very demanding with its breaks. I mean, we have a month off in December. We have spring break, we have Columbus Day. I think I can make most of them.
Well, we won't worry about it, we just wanted to make sure we have this amended.
Yeah.
Cover everybody.
And then, and then maybe some of it too, cause like you're not gonna be around town a lot. Big part of the job is seeing what's going on
Yeah.
around town and people talking to you. If you, I don't know, if you need to make a Facebook post or put something in the wind, how people could get a hold of you, talk to you.
Yeah. I've had a few
He
people
might
talk
not
to me.
want to do that.
I was just thinking that too. He might not want to do that, lad.
It's part of the job.
No, I know that, I know.
And it'll be on the webpage, there's a selectmen's page on the webpage, so I'll update it.
Trust me, Peyton, if they've got an issue. and they
They'll
wanna
find
talk
you.
About it, they'll find you.
They'll find you.
Well, our emails are all the same.
Yeah.
First initial, last name at townofvinalhaven.org for
Yes.
anybody that would like to do that. Yes, Marjorie?
could you just call for a motion to add
Yes,
that to your
I will.
policy, please?
So I will move that we amend the public proceedings policy to include.
Remote participation.
Remote. I would like to make a motion that we amend the remote participation in public proceedings policy to include one A4, that's weird. To include participating in approved educational activities.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, thanks. All right. This rest of that's all set.
Oops.
And approve and sign easement release with the Vinalhaven Fishermen's Co-op. And I would move that we approve that easement release.
Second?
All in favor?
Does anybody want an explanation of that? Peyton, do you?
Yeah, I see why, because it would kind of hurt the co-op massively, but, where's the plan of trying to do the drainage somewhere else?
We already have that.
Okay,
So we spoke with
They're over there, if you ever wanna come look at them, there, we can unroll them and.
The manager and the, I think, is it called the president of the?
President of the board.
Of the board, and decided on a better location and negotiated a new lease. But then we had to have a town meeting vote, was kind of a blanket vote for the selectmen to release easements that we no longer needed. So we're releasing this original easement that we had with the co-op, because we have another one, and they don't want to have, of course, they don't want to have this one recorded at the registry as it is now. So we're simply releasing that easement or that obligation.
You all set, Peyton?
Yeah,
Okay. Move on to 11, report of town manager, budget report.
This is as of the end of May, so it's about 92% through our budget. And overall, we're at 88.5, so we're good. I think, again, the only departmental budget that's anywhere near,
Thank you.
the transfer station is right at 92%, which is what it should be through the end of May. So I'm hoping we'll be okay. I mean, overall, the budgets everything looks really good. I'm not, we're not in danger of going over. But I'm a little nervous about the transfer station, because that's kind of right on target at 92% at the end of May. Does anybody, if you had a chance to look at it, if you have any questions? Oh, the one thing, yeah, we've already talked about it, but I've already told you about the hydrants. We have to pay main water.
Right.
The hydrant fee, and I did not budget enough money because the water rates went up, and I mean, it was my fault. I didn't anticipate the increase. I should have. So that's gonna be over
For this fiscal year?
for this, that's ending right now.
Okay.
In a couple of weeks. So yeah,
So what about next fiscal year?
I put in enough. for
Okay.
this one,
Yeah, it would be that
Okay,
Yeah.
amount there.
yeah. Can't get out the crystal ball.
I had a question about that, and I didn't ask at town meeting because it's not a huge deal, but, in the, under donations to New Hope for Women, it listed it, I thought we had done $1,000, but in the book it said $650. Can you explain about that?
I don't have the 26 budget. You want me to go get it?
No, that's fine, it's not a huge deal, we can look at it another time,
I
but,
probably, I mean, it went through the board, that's probably what they asked for. I think there was one, well, this year, I think it was increased to 1,000.
yeah, we did, yeah. Oh, but the ask was $650.
They don't, yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
the,
Their request was
Whatever.
660, like Penquist's was 1323, so.
yeah,
so it wasn't increased when we went through the budget process. I'll have to try to remember to point that out, if that's something that you wanna, increase to more than what they ask.
I personally do.
I
I thought
personally
we
do.
voted on that last budget, not this budget cycle, but the one before, to increase that to $1,000.
Yeah,
It was 1,000 in the 24-25
Right.
budget.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
no, that's fine, I just had that question, I wanted to make sure we cleared that up. Is there anything else? Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, either one, yep.
Anything else, Marjorie?
I don't have anything on my list.
Okay. Moving on to number 11, report of members. Tom? Lad? Peyton? Leslie?
I did mention to Marge, about the deer population and how it is overrun on the island, and talked to her about what we needed to do. She said it was quite extensive.
It is expensive.
Extensive.
Oh,
And
extensive.
probably expensive too.
Very expensive.
But I just feel like it's something that we should look into, given the amount of lime that's out here, the destruction of landscaping and gardens, and the starvation in the winter. I think it should at least be looked into, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Well, as I explained to Leslie, I went through, well, we didn't actually follow through with the process, but people had a lot of questions on Shebig when I was there, and we had somebody come out from Inland Fisheries and Wildlife and explain that you have to work with them if you want to try to do something. But I mean, it's not even just a matter of asking them to reduce the population. I mean, you have to collect data on why you think there's overpopulation and how many deer, and then work with them on what they think the population should be. And then it's a matter of hiring animal damage control people. But then even if you go to that extent, you know, where do you tell these people to go? Because not everybody wants you to shoot the deer, you know, so we ended up not following through with it there. It's a long, complex process, and you work through it with Inland Fisheries and Wildlife. So I don't know if you want me to do anything with it, but it's not an easy process, let's put it that way.
I've also talked to two people approached me to say that they also hit deer with their cars. So that was another aspect.
We got buried 8.
Yeah. So just throwing it out there. Food for thought.
Move the deer crossing signs somewhere else, or across someplace else. Safer.
So probably.
Well, do you guys
not
have
my
any thoughts on that?
It's an issue, there's no doubt it's an issue, they're everywhere. I mean, they've already increased any deer permits for out here. Just about anybody that applies can get 2, not just 1. It's not as big a hunting population as it used to be.
There was the biggest amount of deer shot this tag this year.
Yeah.
than
And
ever
now
has
you
been.
don't, not only do you get 2, but you can just continuously keep buying them. Yeah, I don't know, I just know other people from other towns that have gone through the process here talking, and I know it's a long process, and then in the end, like say, they just bring in sharpshooters
Right,
and mow them down, and that upsets people. On both sides, it upsets hunters and people who don't want them killed at all. It's usually just that it just pisses everyone off. I know we had, I know Islesboro's, they were in a different
They did
category than us. They had all bow hunting, and they opened up like half the island to be able to use shotgun. But we already have, you can hunt both ways.
they brought out a sharpshooter too, didn't they, quite a while ago? I was thinking, years ago. But,
I believe it did,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I think they did,
Yeah, they
yeah.
did.
Can't we just catch them and treat them for ticks?
I think
Put the
it's,
cat collars on.
I mean, they have things, like on the vineyard, they look like toll booths that they put up, that deer goes through to get scrubbed, was one of the things they.
Seriously?
Yeah, one of the things, I mean, it's, like, we think we've got it bad here, like, the vineyard is.
other
Yes.
places have it as bad.
Long Island's really bad.
Is one of the worst places. Yeah, there's just, I don't know if anybody's come up with a great answer yet, and everything I've seen has cost a lot of money and still
Yeah.
hasn't done anything.
Is there any way to drop birth control? Like fly over and drop birth control.
If we could do that, we'd be done it with people a long time ago.
No, you know what
Stop
I
reading
mean.
my mind, lad.
I wonder if there's any type of, thing that they have for that, for wild animals.
Never heard of it.
I have neither, but it's,
I just know that a lot of people complain because of all of the things I mentioned, but then if people want to take measures to do it, then they're complaining that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, and I know it's a no-win, but it really is out of control here.
yeah, it can be hazardous. I mean, yes, Melson.
I mean, back when we used to burn all the fields, and I know everybody's probably heard this over a million times, but it helps. Is that, I mean, is that an EPA issue that we don't burn fields anymore and?
I'm not sure.
I have an answer. I brought this up when I worked at the medical center, and I was told that ticks don't live in fields. You have to pick a specific window of time to burn, and that the person didn't think enough people would volunteer to help. That is the explanation I got, because I asked the same question.
and I would think they live on field mice.
They're in fields.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'd have a problem getting
well, I
volunteers.
think you probably get plenty of volunteers.
Yes, so,
Used to have plenty of volunteers. Oh, when I was a
And-
kid, I never got the opportunity, because we lived on the other end of the island, but I was always like, oh, you got to, you know.
Burning the ball
Yeah.
ground.
Okay, oh,
I
yeah.
loved it.
I did ask.
I think that would be a question for Mark, fire chief.
Might be something to consider.
Yeah.
And
Certainly
something
is
else.
worth exploring a little bit.
As a, for instance, like what fields are you talking?
Used to burn all of them.
Yeah, we used to burn ball ground, yeah, I mean,
Lamont,
the
they used to
hill,
burn.
Lamont,
Yep,
we used to burn, Poor Farm,
yep.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Any of the big fields they used to
Yeah.
burn.
and a lot of people burned, you know, there was like a few weeks that you were allowed to do it, and people would burn on their own land as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
Yep.
And burn their grass and bushes and everything.
Steve did that. Oh, God. He burned, this is just a quick anecdote. Steve decided he was gonna burn the tall grass around our house, so he went over to my grandmother's, and he thought, well, I'll burn Leola and Wendell's, and there was an apple tree that was getting old, and all of a sudden rode about and started hollering at Steve, going, oh no, look, and where the holes in the tree were, there was smoke coming out. Whoops. Gone underground.
Tell Steve no more comments about me.
I'll let him know, but anyway, that's my thought about burning, you gotta be careful.
Oh, yes, definitely. That's why they call it controlled burn.
Yeah,
Right.
so we had a garden hose stuck in the tree. Oh dear, okay, so anyway.
Glad you're up.
I think this was a good chance for, make a quicker meeting for Peyton's first one. We didn't want to drag it on too long, didn't want to have him,
Discouraged,
overwhelmed, yes, overwhelmed, I was just saying.
Say-
Sticking your toe in.
Yes.
Look at it,
Yeah.
They'll suck the whole
We're
body
not gonna
end
push
away.
you in the pool quite
And it's a
yet.
good thing when the agenda isn't long, it means that things are going pretty good, knock on wood.
You just screwed it up.
So, and our next meeting is July 1st. And number 13, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Thanks.
Lad made the motion, by the way.
Whether he wanted to or
Whether you
not.
want to or not.